I will ask you a simple question. Where do you get happiness? Outside or inside? In today's world, in the age of AI, artificial intelligence, whatever you study is going to be useless. Every person on this planet Earth, if you want to understand your life, you have to understand what kind of thinking you have. Then I regretted why this meditation didn't come to me in my school days, why it didn't come to me in my college days. So when your life is transparent, authentic, when your life is beautiful, you are celebrating your life, that means you have crystal clear clarity about your life. Now, why we have come here is to make sure to give you certain basic simple techniques, very simple techniques. If you implement those techniques, you will enjoy your student life. Because I used to think myself, I got this basic simple techniques of meditation when I was 25 years old. Had I got this technique in my engineering days or in my school days or in my earlier days, I would have lived my life much more happier. So we have come here to teach you the happiness science. That is our simple mission. How many of you want to live a happy life? Please raise your hands. Okay. How many of you want to live suffering? How many of you want to live a life of suffering? No, sir. I've been used to living a suffering life. Let me suffer. Anybody want suffering? No. Okay. So now if you want happiness in your life, I will ask you a simple question. Where do you get happiness? Outside or inside? How many of you say happiness is outside? If you eat nice pizza, pani puri, pav bhaji, I feel happy, sir. That is enough for me. I have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend, I'm happy. You get happiness in that one also. When you eat nice food, you get happiness, but it is very temporary. You go for shopping, you get happiness, but very temporary. You are spending time with your loved ones, that is also temporary. Because only in the girlfriend boyfriend stage there is happiness. Once you get married, all trouble starts. So that is also temporary. Everything is temporary. So the happiness what you get outside is temporary. Now imagine in your life, your happiness is remote controlled by another person. When somebody is nice to you, you are happy. When somebody is not nice to you, you are hurt. You get good marks, you are happy. You fail a subject, you are sad. So your happiness is controlled by an outside situation. That means it is not real happiness. The real happiness is when nothing outside determines, but it is your understanding of life which gives you a certain clarity and peace and happiness. So now in today's subject, what we are going to speak is about clarity. Can anybody define clarity? Now this session is going to be interactive. Can anybody define what is clarity? Mental peace is different, clarity is different. In open mindset, you are ready to learn things, but what is clarity? What is the definition of clarity? So clarity means you are clear about certain things. That's why we call the word crystal clear. How does a crystal look like? Beautiful, transparent. Crystal is transparent, multidimensional. So you see from this side, you can see the other side, very transparent and pure and multidimensional and beautiful. So when your life is transparent, authentic, when your life is beautiful, you are celebrating your life, that means you have crystal clear clarity about your life. So your happiness in life depends on how much clarity you have about your own life. Now, to understand your life, how do you understand your life? What is life? How do you define life? So, your life is defined by three aspects. Anybody's life is defined by three aspects. The way you think, the way you speak, and the way you execute your actions. These are the three ways your life is defined. We speak Mahatma Gandhi is a great person. Yes? So why do we call him great? Because his thinking, his words and his actions define his greatness. And we say Hitler is a ruthless fellow. So what defines that ruthlessness is his thinking, his negative thinking, his disastrous thinking, He want to wipe off the entire Jewish population. That is his thinking. And his words, remember, the words are very powerful. Mahatma Gandhi used his voice to move the nation towards freedom. Hitler used the same voice to instill world war. So we define Hitler based on his thinking, his words and actions. So we define Mahatma Gandhi based on his thinking, words and action. Every person on this planet Earth, if you want to understand your life, you have to understand what kind of thinking you have, what kind of words you speak, and what kind of actions you do. These three things define you. And when you have clarity in your thinking, when you have clarity in your words, when you have clarity in your actions, you are a person with crystal clear clarity. This is what defines your life. Now, let me ask you a very simple question. How many of you joined this course out of clarity? Please raise your hands. I see only one young lady raising half the hand. Okay, now it has become full hand. Only one. What about the rest? Let us be honest here, because this is a session of reflection. Nobody is going to judge you. You treat me as your good friend. I have come here as a well-wisher. Please put down the hand. Only one. And rest of you would have joined just because your parents wanted or the society. Most of you have joined because the society expects you. You joined in engineering, that means you are respected. So because of the peer pressure, the social expectations, or your parents might feel good. Your parents expected you to be an engineer or a management consultant or a leader. You have joined this course because of somebody's expectations. So this is a very crucial stage of your life. This is the same thing which happened to me in my life. After I finished my 12, I don't know what to do. I wanted to take psychology. That is my natural interest. My natural interest was psychology. But in those days, especially the place I come from, I'm speaking about 1990s. The place I come from, Andhra Pradesh, either you are a doctor or an engineer, you are respected in the society. Either you take MPC or BPC, you are a good student. All the rest are rejected students. So I'm compelled to take engineering because only if I take engineering, I'll be respected within my own family. Only if I take engineering or medicine, I'll be respected within the community. So there was this social pressure. Because of this social pressure, I have to take engineering. But or else I'm not interested in the engineering subjects. I was more inclined towards studying about life, studying about psychology, environment, nature, philosophy. But then, okay, I decided, okay, anyway, I have to take engineering. Then which subject to take? Then I chose, okay, which subject gives the highest salary? Okay, IT gives the highest salary. Okay, let me take IT. So I have taken information technology just because I don't know what I want in life in those days because I acted upon the pressure. Now, after finishing the engineering, now I don't know what to do next because I'm not interested to go to job. I said, I'm just 21. Who will work in 21 years old? I'm a playful person. I want to experience the student life. So to escape going to job, because after finishing engineering, there is a pressure from the parents, go to job. So I don't want to go to job. So I devised a plan. These family members, they feel good if I study. So I want liberation. I don't want this competition. India is too much of competition. So I'll say, okay, I'll study masters. Where you will study masters? I won't study in India, I will study abroad. I will get good family name to you guys. So I made a deal. So they were also happy. Okay, one person in our family is going abroad to study. Okay, fine. So they arranged my admission into a foreign university in Australia. So I completed my MS degree there. After completing my bachelor's, after completing my master degree, I got my permanent residency and I got an IT job. And after I joined the IT job, I was working for 1 month. Then I realized I'm not interested in IT. So it took 26 years for me to realize that I'm not interested in something which I studied for 6 years. Then I said, what to do now? Because the only thing I know is technology and IT. I know that I'm good at work, but that is not giving me joy. Then I regretted why this meditation didn't come to me in my school days. Why it didn't come to me in my college days. Had it come in my college days and school days, I would have made better choices in my life. So there was a regret. But then I told myself, never mind, I have meditation in my life. So this meditation will guide me what I want. So it took another 5 years for me to find out what really gives me joy in my life. So then I changed my career. I tried many experiments doing many careers. I tried as an organizer. I tried as a travel consultant. I tried as a tour operator. I tried as a personal secretary to other eminent personalities around the world. Then I started teaching. So then I realized my passion was in teaching. It took so many years to realize that my passion was in teaching. Again, meditation helped me. Had meditation is not there in my life, I would have been depressed. I would have been stressed. Now, in today's world, in the age of AI, artificial intelligence, whatever you study is going to be useless. Whatever you study is going to be useless. Your certificate is going to be useless. Nobody is going to hire you just because you have a paper, just because you have a degree, you have a certificate. Nobody is going to hire you. People will hire you if you have capacity to work, if you have the confidence, if you have the strength, if you are a team player, then every company wants you. If you are a person of clarity, every company wants you. Just with certificate, nobody is going to hire you. Are you clear with that? Are you living in a airy-fairy world or are you living in a practical world? In a practical world, nobody will hire you for your degrees. People is going to hire you with what capacity you have, what talents you have, what execution skills you have, how much inner strength you have. So now the need of the hour, now in the resume, in the CVs, if you put, I practice meditation, I practice mindfulness, you will be selected for an interview. Do you know that? That is the current trend. Because a person of meditation, a person of mindfulness is an asset to the company. Because he has clarity, he will help the company grow. Why would the companies hire you? Because the company wants to grow. So, mindfulness and meditation is an asset. When you attend the interview, you answer the questions. They won't see whether you answer the right way or not. The first thing they see is how confidently you are answering. What is your body language? Are you having eye contact? Are you having eye contact? Are you comfortable within yourself? Then they will hire you. Because different companies, they use different technologies and different platforms, which you are never going to study in your curriculum because your curriculum is already old. By the time you graduate, new technologies are going to be there. So the companies can train you. Within 3 months, the companies can train you what they want you to work. So training is very easy. They will train you. In whatever is the latest technologies they are working on, they will train you. So what skill sets you have is secondary, but what soft skills you have is primary. Your soft skills are primary. How you are carrying yourself, how you are interacting with the people, how confident you are, right? And how happy you are. They see that. If there is a team of 10 people, and in the 10 people team, if one person is unhappy, it disturbs the whole team. Do you know that? Yes? In your family, suppose there are 4 people. If one person is unhappy, it affects everybody. Naturally, the company wants to make sure that everybody is a happy employee. So they will look into your eyes, they will look into your facial expressions, they will look into how happy you are. And you cannot fake it. You cannot fake your smiles. You cannot fake your energy levels. And finally, the most important is energy levels. How much energy you have. This is what I'm speaking in the Indian companies. But when you go to foreign companies, the way of recruitment is very different. In the foreign companies, they won't even look at your degree. Can you believe it? In the interview, they will see your energy. They will see your energy. They say, oh, his energy is positive. We want him. And then they say, he has good skills, but the energy is not so good, so we don't want him. So even though you have a lot of skills, but if your energies are not positive, then they don't hire you. I worked in Australia for 5 years. They had never asked my certificate. They haven't seen my mark sheet, they haven't seen my certificate. The only reason they hired me is because by the time I was a very intense meditator. So the moment they see me, oh, he's full of energy, we want him. Not even asking one question, they gave me the job. This is what is going to happen in your careers as well. When you are full of positive energy, the moment you go to the interview, they already like you. They want to recruit you. Now, I'm giving you this background to help you to understand how important meditation is. Now, what is your primary concern emotionally? For most of the students, in their first year, second year, they are concerned about having a nice boyfriend, girlfriend. And by the time they come into the third semester, fourth semester, the breakups will happen and the emotional trauma will happen. By the time they come into the fifth semester, they are almost into emotionally turmoil stage. Then by the time they come into the sixth, seventh, eighth semester, then their only concern is, I need to settle in my life. I need to get a good job. Yes or no? Getting a good job is your main concern as a student. Because after studying engineering, if you are jobless, then the whole society is going to look you in a different way. So without a job, it doesn't look good. So your main concern is how to get a good job or whether you can be an entrepreneur. Not necessarily to get a job in another company. To start your own company, to be an entrepreneur, you need to have a lot of energy. So there is a very simple technique to increase your energy instantly. There is a very simple technique to make your lives with crystal clear clarity. A very simple technique. You guys want to know? Learn about it? Absolutely sure? Backbenchers? You want to know? Okay. Now, there are very three simple steps. Very three simple steps. The first step is you have to sit in a comfortable way, in a relaxed way. Clasping your hands, fingers into fingers, and crossing your feet. The first step. Okay? Remove your specs and keep it aside. Your bags, your books, everything, you keep it aside. You should be baggage free. Be baggage free. Sit comfortably. Put your bags aside and remove your specs. Because you're going to close your eyes, you don't need specs. Remove your specs. And make sure your phones are switched off. Your mobile phones are switched off. Be relaxed. And for the next 15 minutes, you are going to experience a lot of peace, a lot of calmness. So clasping your hands, fingers into fingers, and cross your feet should be crossed, right? And then relax. Sit back, relax, gently close your eyes. The first step is to sit relaxed and close your eyes. Nobody opens your eye. If you want clarity about your life, you will find the clarity inside you. To go within, you need to close your eyes. Clasping your hands, fingers into fingers. And relax your arms, relax your shoulders, relax your entire body. Now, how many of you are feeling more relaxed? How many of you are feeling more fresh? Please raise your hands. Wow, almost everyone. Good. This is the simplest possible technique to make you totally relaxed and completely recharged with energy. Now, you're all engineering students? Everyone? Okay. Now, let us speak something about science. Energy science. When your energy is low, you feel tired. Yes? When energy is more, you feel fresh. If you are feeling fresh, that means you have more energy. This is not the physical energy, but this is the life force energy. In Sanskrit, we call it as prana, prana shakti. The Chinese call it as chi energy. It is the fundamental life force energy. During sleep also, you get this energy. That's why in the night, you go to bed very tired. The next day morning, you feel fresh. So what happens when you go to sleep, your mind goes into a least activity. Your body is still on the bed, your body is resting, and your mind goes into least activity. So when your body is still and when your mind is calm, the cosmic energy is absorbed. The fundamental life force energy increases. So that's why the next day morning when you get up, you feel fresh. So in sleep also you get this prana shakti. But that energy is not sufficient in your day-to-day activities because every time you think unnecessarily, you lose energy. Thinking takes energy, yes or no? Every time you speak unnecessarily, you lose energy. So, most of our thoughts are repetitive thoughts. And imagine how much of energy is getting consumed. And if you are concerned about something, if you are worried about something, if you are stressed about something, then you are stuck in the thought loop. The same thoughts are coming again and again and again, repetitive thoughts. So more and more energy is getting wasted. And 80% of our energy, I'm speaking science, 80% of our energy is spent through cognitive abilities, through our cognitive capabilities. Cognitive capabilities are your seeing, your thinking, and your capacity to analyze. So these are cognitive capabilities. 80% of your energy is spent through the eyes, my dear friends. And imagine you are spending time on the mobile, continuously scrolling, watching videos, unnecessary videos, negative reviews. So what is happening? You are absorbing all the negative content and you quickly lose your own energy. And that's where you feel stressed. That's where you feel tired. You have to understand if you are feeling stressed in your life, how many of you are going through some kind of stress in your life? Please raise your hands. Please be honest. Some kind of stress, whether it can be academic stress or personal life stress or emotional stress. Yes, please put down. You are going through this stress because of the energy factor and because of the clarity factor. Anytime you don't have clarity in any area of your life, when you don't have clarity, you feel stressed. And anytime you feel less energy, you feel stressed. Even so, this was the photograph taken in United Nations in this February, in the month of February. The United Nations in Hanoi, Vietnam, they have invited me to give a workshop on stress management for the United Nations employees. So now you can see that United Nations is a world organization. The salaries they get are the world-class salaries. And in the headquarters in Hanoi, you have the best infrastructure. The best infrastructure, the best salary, everything is high tech. But still, the employees are completely stressed out. The employees are stressed out there because they don't have energy. Now, it is not one person problem, two-person problem. It is an organizational problem. So they have invited me because they heard about me and they know that I'm doing workshops related to that. And one of the employees who is working in that United Nations is one of my students. So they recommended to the management we should have this. So initially, one department organized this workshop and the participants were about 40 members in that single department. And they have implemented this simple technique. What you practiced it, the same technique I've taught them. They have implemented it for 30 days and that department started working phenomenally well compared to other departments. Now the entire United Nations team is asking for a complete training for the whole organization and they've made an agreement for 1 year that I'll be training them continuously for the whole organization. This simple technique. So what you have practiced now is the only way to come out of your stress in the shortest possible time. And it is pure science. Meditation is a pure science. This is meditation. This is called Anapanasati meditation, the technique discovered by Gautama Buddha 2600 years ago. And this is the technique followed by many of our gurus in Himalayas for thousands and thousands of years. In other words, it is called Raja Yoga. In Raja Yoga, there are two important steps. The first step is Sukhasana. Sukhasana means The definition of Sukhasana, according to Maharshi Patanjali, how many of you know Maharshi Patanjali? He is the father of yoga. Okay. So, Sukhasana means Sthiram Sukham Asanam. A posture with a Sthiram means still, and Sukham means comfortable. A posture which is still and comfortable is the right posture for Raja Yoga. That is the first step. So that's why we ask you to clasp your hands and cross your feet. So when you clasp your hands and cross your feet, your body goes into a posture of stillness. And when you completely relax your body, totally relax your body and sit still, naturally it becomes comfortable. So this lock posture, where you are clasping your hands fingers into fingers and crossing your feet and sitting relaxed, you don't need to keep your back straight. You have to sit comfortably straight. You should not trouble your body at any cost. So your body has to be in a comfortable posture. That is the first step, Sukhasana. The second step is Sukha Pranayam. Sukha Pranayam means, pranayam means breathing. Sukha Pranayam means natural breath. So this is what Gautam Buddha also has discovered. He named it as, in Pali language, Anapanasati. In those days, during that area where it is current day Bihar, the language widely spoken was Pali. In Pali language, Ana means inhalation, Apana means exhalation, Sati means to become one. To become one with your natural inhalation and exhalation. To witness your natural inflow and outflow of your breath. That is the simplest and the most powerful and the most effective technique, meditation technique. The most simplest, the most effective, and the most powerful. So, this particular technique of meditation is not only for enlightenment. Enlightenment eventually happens when you do every day sincerely. But this technique you can integrate in your day-to-day life to live a happy life and a healthy life. To live a simple, happy life, stress-free life and healthy life. A life full of clarity. Now I want you to do some experiments. Will you do? Yes? Okay. So I'm going to tell you some experiments which is going to transform your life, because this is the same experiment. So in this lifetime, I don't know this Anapanasati and Raja Yoga, I don't know. But very naturally I was doing this without knowing this is the technique, because it is coming from my past lives. So during my exam, what I used to do is, so normally exam, you will have stress, exam stress, and especially engineering, you cannot cover all the syllabus, right? School, you can cover all the chapters. In engineering, you cannot cover all the chapters. And most of the engineering students, including myself, we study only before the exams. Yes or no? So this is a natural phenomena. And how do you go through so much? And there is so much to read. And even if you read all the things, there is much more to read. So there used to be a lot of exam stress. And before going to the exam center, before going to the exam room, I used to see all my friends, everybody is reading in the last moment also, referring to pages. Still these days it is happening? It is happening still? Okay. I thought the Gen Zs are least bothered, don't care. But you still go through it. Okay. So your generation is called Gen Z? Yes. Okay. So what I used to do is, if I refer to the book in the last minute, more stress will come. So rather, my priority is to relax myself so that whatever I already studied or whatever I heard in the lecture, I will remember. So I used to, it's a 2.5 hours exam, still 2.5 hours? Okay, 2.5 hours exam. So when I receive the question paper, I keep aside the question paper without looking into any of the questions. Keep aside the question paper, just close my eyes for 5 minutes, and when I am totally relaxed, then I will see the question paper. In that relaxed state, what happens is, you are not in a state of panic or tension. So whatever you understood will automatically, you will remember. Whatever you heard in the class, you will remember. Whatever you studied many months back, you will remember. And whatever you didn't study also, it will come to you very naturally because we all have our own creativity. We all have our creative imagination. So just by looking into the title, the question, So the answers used to come through me, even though I never studied that particular topic. So later on, I discovered, after coming into meditation, I discovered that the more your mind is calm, the more your creativity is active. The more your mind is calm, the more your memory power. For a person whose mind is agitated, his memory power is very weak. For a person whose mind is very calm, his memory power is very strong. So, before you start any exam, whether it is your practical exam or whether it's your theoretical exam or whether it is your viva or whether it is your interview, whatever it is, before your exam, just for 5 minutes, you close your eyes, observe the breath. Forget about the exam, forget about any kind of questions, forget about all the stress. Just close your eyes, observe the breath for 5 minutes. Instantly, you will receive a lot of cosmic energy. You have experienced it now. Instantly, you will receive a lot of cosmic energy. You will become more calm. You will become more confident. From within, you will become more confident. And in that space, you write the exam, you will do your best. In that space, you attend the interview, you will do the best. So, this is the first experiment I want you to do. Will you try? Because unless you experiment, you will not know whether it is true or not. Because you are a science student, you have to experiment. So experiment this simple technique. That is the first experiment. Now the second experiment I want to tell you is, have you heard the term consciousness? Yes? Can you define consciousness? What is consciousness? How do you deal with your consciousness? How do you understand your consciousness? How do you work with your consciousness? You are aware of your surroundings. That is awareness. But my question is, how do you work with your consciousness? First of all, what is consciousness? State of being active? That is awareness. You are totally aware of your present moment and you are totally aware of your surroundings. So that is more awareness and mindfulness. I am speaking about consciousness. Sometimes it's a paradoxical. The backbenchers are sometimes most successful people in their life. The front benches will go find a job, the back benches will start a company and employ the first benches. This phenomenon also happens. So never look down on back benches. Once again, the question, consciousness. Think about it. This is an interactive session. Make an attempt. What is consciousness? Or how do you deal with your consciousness? Or how will you work with your consciousness? Is it a very tough question? These are the questions you will get in your interview if you go to IAS and IPS interviews. Do you know that? If you go to IAS and IPS, they will ask these kind of questions. There is a scenario. Okay, how will you deal with the scenario? How will you use your judging abilities? How will you use your consciousness? Your perception, your consciousness. I'm giving you a hint. See, consciousness is your inner voice. In other words, it is called intuition. Anytime you do something, you have an inner feeling that you have done something right or you have done something wrong. Yes? When you do something, there is an inner feeling which comes, I've done something right, I've done something wrong. So that inner voice is your consciousness. So how do you work with your consciousness? Sometimes in your life, there might be a path whether to take left or whether to take right, you don't know. I'll give an example. Somebody is coming and proposing you. Whether you should accept that proposal or not, $1,000,000 question. So how do you act on it? Or you get two jobs simultaneously. You get two jobs. Campus interview, you got two jobs. So which job to choose? Or you have to find a career. So what kind of career? You want to go into the coding, technical, or you want to go into the testing, or you want to go into the management? So in life, always there is crossroads. We call it as crossroads. Which way to go? Which choice to take? So how do you decide? So that is when you use your power of your consciousness. So before you take any major decisions in your life, you just sit quiet, close your eyes, observe the breath for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And after you meditate for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, you open your eyes. The first feeling you have in your heart, not the thought, the first feeling you have in your heart, you follow it. That is your right guidance. So that is how you work with your consciousness. Because you will be in your crossroads. As long as you are in this college, you are in a cocoon. You are in a fantasy world. The moment you graduate and go outside, you are going to face the real world. And the real world is not as fancy as the college. The real world is ruthless. The real world, you will have a lot of crossroads. So, this is going to transform your life once for all. Before you take any major decision, just close your eyes, observe the breath for 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Naturally, you will have the guidance from within. Okay? So, these are the two experiments I want you to remember all the time. The first experiment is anytime you feel stressed, anytime you are going through an exam or an interview or any complicated situation in your life, meditate for 15 minutes and then you take up that. The second, anytime you are in crossroads, do a little more intense meditation, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and whatever you feel in your heart, you follow it. Don't follow what you think, but follow what you feel in the heart. Your mind might misguide you, but your heart will never misguide you. So these two experiments will transform your life once for all. Okay? How many of you will do these experiments? Please raise your hand. Wow. Everybody. Good. This is going to transform your life. Mark my words. Now coming to stress management. If you have to understand stress, see, we spoke about clarity. We spoke about consciousness. Now let us understand stress. If you fail to manage your time, you go through stress. Yes or no? If you don't plan to submit your assignments, you don't plan to submit your project work, you don't plan to prepare for an exam, you naturally go through stress? Yes. So if you fail your time management, you will go through stress. Number two, if you fail in your energy management, you will go through stress. Energy management, unnecessary thinking, unnecessary speaking, unnecessary eating. You eat junk food, by default your energy goes down. You eat a healthy food and you eat a junk food, you will see the energy difference. After you eat a junk food, you feel lethargic, you feel lazy. But when you eat healthy food, sattvic food, then you feel full of energy. So energy management is very, very important. If you want to excel in your studies, you want to excel in your academics, you want to excel in your career, energy management is very important. Time management is also very important. Time management, you all know, it's a simple phenomena, right? Make a to-do list. Every day in the morning, make a to-do list. Okay, I have to do this, do this, do this, write on a piece of paper. Then what is the priority number one? You do that first. Priority number two, priority number three. So accordingly, you do the priority wise, the time is perfectly managed. That is time management. Energy management has 2 points. Number one, meditation, which we did. Number two, along with meditation, you practice mindfulness. You will never lose energy. When you practice mindfulness, you don't lose energy. When you practice meditation, you maximize your energy. Mindfulness simply means whatever you do, your 100% focus is on that. You are walking, your 100% focus is on walking. You are eating, your 100% focus is on eating. So no multitasking. Sometimes you might be thinking that multitasking is a great thing. How many of you believe multitasking is a great thing? Raise your hands. Multitasking is absolutely a disastrous thing. You should not do multitasking. If you do multitasking, you lose a lot of energy and your efficiency will reduce. Your efficiency will reduce when you do multitasking. But when you do mindful tasking, that means one thing at a time. You finish one task and then go to the next task. You finish that task and go to the next task. The magic is, whatever the work you are able to accomplish in multitasking, you are able to do much more work in mindfulness. And in multitasking, you lose energy, your efficiency is less. In mindfulness, you don't lose energy and your efficiency is topmost. So this is what all the companies from Google to Oracle to Microsoft, every company is introducing mindfulness in their company profiles. So mindfulness should be practiced for efficiency because company want efficiencies. They don't want mediocre jobs. They want efficient jobs. So the more you practice mindfulness, the more you become efficient. Now, for example, you are reading a particular subject, chemistry or mathematics, you are reading a particular subject. So your focus is only on that. For half an hour, you focus 100%, finish that and then go on to the other thing. So no multitasking. Not normally what people do, they listen to videos and then they do the cooking. The cooking is gone. It is not to the highest taste. Okay, they are eating the food and they are thinking about tomorrow. They are teaching and they are worried about what is happening at home. So when this multitasking is there, that means their 100% focus is not in one place. Naturally, they are not efficient, and also their energy level goes down. So when you practice mindfulness, your body and mind in one place. That is a simple definition. Your body and mind in one place. So when your body and mind is in one place, that means you are fully mindful of that moment. So when you are fully mindful of that moment, your awareness is to the highest. When your awareness is to the highest, you don't lose energy and you become efficient. So practice mindfulness along with meditation. Naturally, you will be the best version of yourself. To be the best version of yourself, just practice meditation and mindfulness in your life. Time management will come naturally. In fact, let me simplify this. The more you practice meditation, the more naturally mindfulness will come into your life. The more naturally the time management will come into your life. The more naturally you become stress free. Only one simple technique of meditation, everything will come into the place. It creates a ripple effect. This is the science of meditation. I'm not saying this from a theoretical perspective. I'm saying it because this is what I have experimented in my life, and this is what I've been teaching all around the world for more than 16 years. And it's all, wherever we go, it is all success stories. So we have not come here to just to give a one-time lecture and go off. We have come to this institution to make sure meditation becomes the culture of this institution. Every day there is meditation introduced. Every class before the teacher teaches only 5 minutes of meditation, and then when you teach, there is a huge difference. Normally the attention span, average attention span is only 20 minutes. A good attention span is only 20 minutes. But if you meditate for 5 minutes, the attention span increases to 40 minutes. The attention span increases from 20 minutes to 40 minutes only with 5 minutes meditation. So whatever the teacher teaches, everything is absorbed by the student with 5 minutes of meditation. So this is what we want to inculcate. We want to make meditation as the culture of this institution, and that's why we have come here. Any questions you have before we go for the final concluding session? Any questions regarding the practice of meditation? Quickly. It's very simple. What is the first step? The first step is the lock posture. Sit comfortable, clasp your hands, cross your feet and close your eyes. What is the second step? Observe your natural breath. The first step is sit comfortably. The second step, observe your natural breath. The third step, the moment you notice any thoughts, cut the thoughts and come back to the breath. You let 1,000 thought comes. 1,000 times you cut, come back. Cut, come back. You will be closing your eyes and meditating, and suddenly you will realize you are thinking. That moment you realize you are thinking, you cut immediately and come back. How do you cut the thoughts? You don't focus on the thoughts, you focus on the breath. Immediately your attention should come back to the breath. So when your attention comes back to the breath, your thoughts are cut. Let me tell you about another simple science. Where your attention goes, there your energy goes. Where your attention goes, there your energy goes. Yes or no? Where your attention doesn't go, your energy doesn't go. So, the moment you notice the thoughts, give your attention immediately to the breath. Then your energy doesn't go to the thoughts. That is cutting the thoughts. Cutting the thought means you are diverting your attention to the breath immediately. Okay? So, do you have any questions on this? Anyone? No. Okay. So, let us conclude this session.